This is Areliyah Ben Israel. I want to go ahead and welcome you to today's presentation, Jesus is Black, Undeniable Proof, Episode 1. And what we're going to do today is to form a basis for our argument. We're going to go ahead and start with the ancient civilizations of the world. When I say ancient civilizations, we're not going to get into the civilizations that predated the flood of Noah. We're going to focus on Noah's sons, their descendants. Especially, we want to put a special emphasis on Ham. This episode, in episode 1, we're gonna discuss Ham, and we're gonna discuss his sons and the nations that arose from his sons. So this is what this is going to do. It's going to give us an idea of the racial background of the ancient civilizations. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to go ahead and start in Genesis 10. And Genesis 10 is what is called the Table of Nations. These are the nations that sprang out of the sons of Noah after the flood. And I want to go ahead and start in Genesis chapter 10. And I'm going to start in Genesis chapter 10 in Genesis chapter 10:6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, and Canaan, and the sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sapta, Ramah, and Sapteca, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dindan. And Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, Calneh, and the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and buildeth Nineveh, and the city of Rehoboth, and Calah. Now, what I want you to notice is these nations that came from Nimrod, the son of Cush, the grandson of Ham, which was the son of Noah, these nations inhabited what we would call the Mesopotamia or Indus Valley region. So when you hear in history they speak of the Indus Valley civilizations, they're basically speaking about the sons of Cush, which was the son of Ham. Now you had other sons of Ham that were populated amongst the sons of Cush, but the main inhabitants of those areas were the sons of Cush, mainly noted Nimrod. So let's first take a look at Ham. It is well documented that Ham became the progenitor of what we now know as African people, or black people. So I'm going to put this question to you. Common sense tells us if Ham was a black man, if one of my sons is a black man, then I would also have to be a black man, which would be Noah. So if Noah was a black man, Ham was a black man, wouldn't my brothers Japheth and Shem also be black men? Yes, they would. So This is this is basically giving you proof that the ancient civilizations, Cush, Egypt, Put, Canaan, Put, known as Nubia or Libya, Cush, Ethiopia, Egypt, and the land of Canaan, which is modern day Israel, these were all so called African people or nations. These were black people. These were never any other type of people. Most of the events that took place in the Old Testament, they centered around these lands. Okay? They centered around black people. Now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put up some images of these ancient civilizations, some ancient artifacts, because what a lot of European scholars will do is they'll tell you that neither Shem, Ham, or Japheth were black men. Because if they stick with the basic consensus that Ham was the father of the African races, then they would also have to admit that the black man was the father of civilization, because these nations were powerful amongst the earth. Babylon, Samaria, Egypt, Nubia, Ethiopia, Cush. These were powerful nations among the earth. They ruled the earth. Okay? So let's go ahead and put up some images, some ancient artifacts, and let's take a deep, detailed look at what these people look like. Okay? Shalom, welcome back. So, after the presentation of artifacts, we have no other choice but to come to the conclusion that ancient civilization, namely the Indus Valley civilization, was comprised of black nations. These nations descend from Ham's son Cush and from Cush's son Nimrod, who was the founder and the first king of Mesopotamia or Indus Valley civilizations or empires. So you may hear the Eurocentrics claim that civilizations started with the ancient Greeks, which, that's a Eurocentric point of view. They have rewritten history to fit into, their white supremacy propaganda, but there's enough literature and information out there that if you choose to dig deep and to scratch beyond the surface, then there's information out there that'll actually lead you to the truth, and it'll lead you to the origins and the racial makeup of these empires that arose and became the superpowers of the earth in ancient times. So with that, this is Areliyah Ben Israel signing out. I'd like to thank you, and please join us next time for the next episode when we're going to highlight the North African or Northeast African region, which would be the descendants of the son of Ham, Canaan, the Canaanites, and also the descendants of Ham's son Mizraim, which would be the Egyptians. Thank you.